are live.
Yes,
Fun.
we are completely. Hello, this is a very exciting day. We got two guests today. Yes. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Linda. And hi, Christine. How are you?
Everybody meets Lee, and she's awesome. Awesome co-host.
Thank you. So today is our guest day. Hello, everyone. We forgot to say hello to the world. We're so excited. Today is Wednesday, December the 2nd. It's a special day. Linda's birthday was yesterday, but we're going to just pull it over today because we're going to say that today's her birthday.
Oh, good. We like to keep it going.
You're gonna celebrate.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just like the whole entire month of December, right? But
Yeah.
also today is also my son's birthday, and he's
Oh,
turning 26, and he's gonna probably cringe when he hear me announce it to the whole world, but it's okay. I don't care. I'm proud mama.
Of course.
So we have so much to talk about today, and I want to introduce everybody to Linda and Christine, and we have both of them here because they own a productions called Sage, and I'm gonna let them describe what it is. It's a theater, so pull a chair, grab a friend, come on in, and stay for the next 30 minutes because you want to hear this. So let's not waste any time. Sarah, can we start with you?
Yes, yeah, quickly. Hello, everyone. In case you have not heard me, I introduced myself 130 times now. Today,
Literally.
yeah. Sarah M. I grew up in Cambodia. My life started out beautiful, and then it turned sour and turned very, very dark through the killing fields that killed about 2 million people. But I'm grateful that God was with me. He protected me and saved me, and I'm here. So that's all it matters. Good news, right? Good news. I make it here. So I'm so grateful to this country and to all the people that I met. So I have not met bad people yet so far. So I'm very fortunate. So that's all I want to say today. Just turn the microphone back to Lee.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And I'm going to make it as quick as I can too, because we have a full agenda. So my name is Lee Tran, co-host of this friendly conversation every day, Monday through Friday. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have guests. And today we have two guests. And my background is a little different than Sarah, but very similar because I'm also from a refugee spawn from running away from Vietnam. I was born as a Chinese, run away from the communists in 1979 and settled in America in 1980. And like Sarah said, it's the grace of God that actually brought us here, and we're really grateful. And our journey has been a lot of surviving, but we've surpassed that area. Now we're looking to the thriving area, and we love to talk to people who have thriving stories, and we love to talk to people who have new idea and who always go through the pain so they can grow to something or something different and new. And today we have Linda and Christine from the Sage production. Like I said, it's a theater production. And I'm going to let Linda go ahead and introduce herself a little bit, and then we'll pass it on to Christine, and then they can talk about who they are and what it is. And then we're going to ask them tons of questions. So Linda, welcome.
well, thank you so much. I will introduce myself. Besides being the birthday girl, I started later in life with a new career as a playwright. And this began because I was a volunteer working with adults at my temple, and they're active people, and I would form theater groups and take them to the theater. We have wonderful community theater in Pinellas County, but the shows that I would see They weren't like the people that I worked with, or even myself. We had challenges in life, and we were dealing with and overcoming. And the stories that I see on stage, they were light. They wouldn't be like a full character on stage, just a mimicry of older adults. And we have stories that need to be shared. So it kind of pushed me into becoming a playwright, because I want people to know about our lives and what we're doing. We're not, sometimes people like to, as you age, ignore you, push you on the side. Well, that's not going to happen. No.
No.
So we want, the issues that we have are serious, but we can address them, we can overcome them. And what we do is we use theater. We have a story. It's always an interesting story and characters in it, but it also educates on an issue, like fall prevention, our newest one on preventing scams that target seniors by phone. So all these issues are part of the play. So when you see it, you enjoy it, but you also go away a little bit changed in your attitude. You see people successful in overcoming a challenge, and then well, you can do it too.
Yeah.
Or if it's something like fall prevention, I'm not going to let that happen to me.
Right.
Based on seeing senior actors on stage, that's where Sages Theater Inc. It's actually Senior Actors Guild, as it started out in education services, and it's seniors in lead roles, and not glamorous, 26-year-olds, but
Yeah.
people.
Right. Why do we have a 26 years old acting like a 62 when we have actually a 62 years old who can do that?
Some of our actors are 80 and older, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't call it, senior. I just call it wisdom people, because they just have a lot of wisdom in their lives. I think, they are the wealth of everything that we should tap into, because they don't want to bring it with them. So why don't we just, ask them and get it from them so we can be smarter too.
You
But
know,
I love that.
yeah, and senior's not a bad word.
No.
Honestly, when we're young, you want to be a senior in high school, you want to be a senior in college, you want to be
Yeah.
a senior in your career,
Yeah.
So why all of a sudden does that start to lose its charm? There's definite benefits to being a senior, to experiencing your life, learning from it, gaining wisdom from it, and sharing it.
Yeah.
And that's what Linda does with her playwriting, just in a wonderfully real and genuine way.
Yeah. So how does she rope you in there, Christine? Because you obviously is not a senior.
Well, I'm not sure it went that direction. Well, okay. So my history with this is I was doing fall prevention advocacy in Pinellas and Pasco County, and found the challenge of educating people on how to prevent falls, how to stay safe, and making it fun. That was always hard. I tried to make a bingo game out of it, have a lunch and learn, whatever it is, but it just didn't have the longevity of a story someone might hear. So I came across Sages. At the time, I was just looking in the theater grapevine, which I happen to have here. So if anyone's interested in community theater, you can subscribe to this little newsletter, and it tells you what's going on in our counties. And I saw Sages, and it intrigued me, Senior Actors Guild in Education Services. So I went to an audition, and I saw Linda in the corner, and I went through the script, and I thought, gosh, she's really tapped into something great here. So I walked up to her afterwards and I said, I don't have time to actually commit to be in this, but I would love for you to write a play about fall prevention. And then her
Great idea. Great idea.
And I said, fall prevention. Everyone's going to want to come see a play about fall prevention, but they do.
Yes. So
Ooh,
I didn't give up. She calls me her little fox terrier because every time I ran into her after that, I said, hey, how's that coming? Have you thought of any ideas? So we started writing that and got that together. And Sages at this time was still an LLC. This is what Linda had started. This was like a whole new career for her to be a playwright. And I'm just, in awe of what she's taught herself to do and now how she's brought it to the stage. The one key thing about Linda is she is a collaborator. And for us to work with other professionals and get the information that we wanted to educate people on into the play, and then have her weave in these real actual stories from our family members, from our friends.
Wow.
We weave that in to what she creates and what she created to be Denying Gravity, which is about fall prevention, and a character named Claire. But she has a wealth of these stories. She has a little library of plays she's already written. And when this kind of took off, we were surprised. I knew we would get crowds, it wouldn't be like 20 people, 30 people that you'd get max, at a workshop or something.
Yeah.
The very first performance we had, we worked with Pinellas Park Fire Rescue. And we did it at the Pinellas Park Performing Arts Center, a great, big, beautiful theater. And it's free. That is the main thing, is we wanted to make it free to the public, no barriers. We wanted it to be accessible to everyone. And so we set out, 450 chairs. They thought I was crazy, but we set them all out because we had no idea how many people would come. And then the curtain was held because we had to put out another 50 chairs.
Wow.
So we had 500 people at that theater watching this play for the very first time. And the way they reacted to the characters, the stories that were told, the emotion on stage, it was palatable. I mean, you could hear the gasps, you could certainly hear the laughter. And then you could see afterwards when they came up to us and talked to us how much it touched them. It reminded them of a family member or someone they're concerned about, or even themselves. Yeah. I think, Linda, you had a story. Somebody said, oh yeah, I left my cane in the trunk. I better go get it. So we were just really impressed with the response and the overwhelming welcoming that we received from the community, not just the professional healthcare community, public servant community, but just the general public. And we realized that we really tapped into something here, and that education piece needed to be even more in the forefront. So we decided to become a nonprofit. And I quit my job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Christine has such a passion for this play.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I have definitely, I have always had a passion for advocacy, and I've always worked in a nonprofit sector that way, but always had a desire to create something. And
I think this is even more powerful than you staying in your job, because you're still doing your job in a different way to impact the audience in a much more relatable and meaningful, because you don't have to always create another bingo game so people
right. Well, it's definitely more rewarding, I'll tell you that. And also, on the topic of thriving, it was a shift for me. My daughter had just passed away, and it was really rough. And she loved community theater. And we had done a play together when she was in 5th grade here locally. And I loved that. I loved the performing arts. I loved every part of what she did on stage. And I remember one time when I was talking about Sages, she said, why don't you just quit your job and do this? I said, well, I'm not getting paid. I have to get paid. But after that loss, I realized I needed to listen to her, and I wanted to do it in honor of her. And it really has helped me over the last 2 years, because we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of that. It has helped me to have a focus and to have a family that was more than I could have, predicted. I just really, I'm amazed with what Sages is able to accomplish and how it touches people. And I'm just honored to work with this young lady right here.
Wow.
Yeah,
This
I witnessed that success, people come in buses. The assisted
And where is
living
this theater at?
facility, Pinellas County.
Wh-
uh,
Where is
Pinellas,
that? Is it in Florida, by
yeah,
Tampa?
yeah, Tampa
Okay.
Bay, Tampa
Okay.
Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Clearwater, Tampa Bay area, we've performed everywhere from St. Petersburg, the big Coliseum there, to Clearwater's Capitol Theater, to Newport Ritchie Suncoast Theater. And we do support community theater, all of us and all of the actors that we have involved. So we like working closely with these existing theaters. We don't have
Yeah.
a theater of our own. We're a touring group.
I see. So the cast and crew are mostly volunteer who are not professional actors and actresses?
Yes, they're all volunteers.
Wow.
And most of our cast members are over the age of 50. So we say AARP and up, you're good to go. So that very first performance was on my 50th birthday. So I was
Okay.
excited.
I can't
for
tell
that.
that you're 50. You hold your age really well. So
See, you know,
you're just a babe.
we need to embrace our ages.
That's
And I
right.
told Linda, we got to celebrate every moment
Right.
we have to do good in this world.
So as I understand, Linda embarked this at the young age of 70.
Yes.
So what were you doing before that? And I assume that you carry on after you get your first retirement from whatever job that you're doing.
Well, I certainly wasn't playwriting in my job. I had no idea that I would be involved in that. I worked for the government and I wrote reports and
Mhm.
postal service. But writing was different. Meeting people and seeing, amazing people who have suffered loss and yet smiled and moved forward.
Yeah.
Many people, families, not all families get along,
Right.
and yet they manage to put together a life and enjoy it. And theater, what I found with the plays that we do is if there's an emotion involved, you remember it. So the message we try to get across is remembered. A woman called me months after that first performance because she wanted to know when the next one was going to be to bring her friends. But she repeated some lines of dialogue to me, almost word for word. She said, using a cane or walker for balance does not make me look weak. It makes me look wise. And
That's
I was
right.
so pleased that months later, she remembered that. And if we could just get people to use a cane, how it would help. And in our new play, Phony Baloney on Scams That Target Seniors, if we could just get people to realize, if you don't know who's calling, don't answer the phone.
Right.
Then there's no scam.
This is
You don't
so
answer the
smart.
phone.
This is so good, getting the message out by having a play so much more impactful
It
than
is.
just having a seminar and tell
Right.
people what to do.
Everyone thinks it's not going to happen to them. I'm not going to fall. I'm going to be
No.
careful, and I'm not going to be scammed. I
Yeah.
can recognize that. Well, anybody can fall. There's a
Right.
lot we can do to prevent falls. There's
And
so then this is what we teach. We give people tools in these plays, and then they make the choice. We don't tell them what to do.
right.
They observe and hear, and somewhere along the line in the play, they say, this is not going to happen to me. I'm going to.
Because they have a story in front of them that something happened to that character or whatever. So it's so impactful.
Not only that, they have the stories of the people sitting next to them. So it creates conversation, which is one of the things I love about your show here, is it creates a platform for conversation about difficult topics.
Right.
We want to focus on those topics that people consider to be taboo, hush hush. Don't tell anybody you were a victim of a scam. Don't tell anybody that you fell, just kind of.
Yeah, it's one of the most dangerous thing for senior is fall down, because I mean, you could be in moderate health and then you fall down and it triggered to your heart, your lung, all the domino effect of condition that it just kind of ooze all out once you not capable of moving around. So I appreciate that, because my mom's 80, and we worry all the time. And I'm keep telling her, walk slow. You don't have to panic. You don't have to be rushed for anything. But I mean, it's so much more meaningful for her to see a play and then with her friend and talk about it, because
Yes.
that's just powerful. So other thing I want to ask is, what kind of challenges that you are having? Because I'm assuming that you are bringing people together. Is that the play once a month, or your production, how often is it?
Well, it's interesting. COVID has been a challenge for everybody. And
Mhm.
so we had our new cast for Denying Gravity ready to go in March, and then everything got shut down.
Mhm.
And so we also had our second play. We'd already auditioned and we're ready to start rehearsals on that. And so we had to pivot. And I have to say, again, this comes back to working in the community, working with our public servants that are trying so hard, fire rescue, law enforcement, to help people. And so we realized that, Linda and I talked about this. Okay, if everybody's staying home and that's the number one place where falls are occurring, we can't wait. This message has to get out.
Right.
So we've gone virtual. And we did show the play for several months on our website to generate interest. And then we started a grant project with the Pinellas Community Foundation, Senior Citizen Services, and 911. And we created kits. And so these kits are, I'm sorry, I don't have one with me. They include a DVD of our filmed performance of Denying Gravity at the Capitol Theater last year. And then playbills, tips on fall prevention, a letter from 911, and surveys. And so that survey is the feedback we get back from people. And we always keep working on our plays and do what we can to enhance the message and add more to it. So the surveys are incredibly important, and they also help us, apply for these grants and meet their demands. So we've been getting those out where they are in now. We approached all of the independent living communities in Pinellas and Pasco County, because that's where the grants are covered, and mobile home parks, 55 plus neighborhoods, apartment complexes. And we have 30 participants right now. So there are 30 senior living communities around these two counties that are participating in the project, either showing it to small groups or passing the kit from neighbor to neighbor, or putting it on a channel. Some of them have their own internal channel and they can broadcast it. And so that's done very well too. We just heard back from one of those today. So that was our plan for Denying Gravity. And then we didn't know quite what to do with Phony Baloney. Do you want to tell them what we did?
Phony Baloney.
Tell them a little bit
I
about
love the name.
Well, scams are a huge topic. There's so many different forms, but we wanted to concentrate on those that come by phone. That's the preferred method of contact for a scammer. It's so easy. We're so accessible. So phone baloney is what it's about. And we were rehearsing with protective equipment and distancing, and we formed almost like our own little pod of people. So we knew we were all safe to be with each other. So when the final moment came, we could actually have the actors on stage, still distanced. So, and we had to use 3 cameras because of the distancing. But we were able to successfully have the play performed on stage to a small audience of friends and family. And the reaction was fantastic. Everyone wanted to talk about, to discuss, yes, that happened to me. So we knew that this play was also going to have an impact. But here again, we need to get it out, and the expense involved. We were able to apply for more grants, and this is going to go forward starting hopefully in January. That's when our grants will be available to get this going also.
Yeah, so we did film our first performance, and God love our actors. They rehearsed on Zoom with their director for several months. then they came together and they had shields and masks and hand sanitizer
wow.
on every table, and the blocking was all distanced, and they did such a good job. And then we went to the theater and they had one tech rehearsal, one show. It was filmed. So they really had to put everything into that. And so we have been using that recording to bring it to congregations. So we brought it to a Methodist church congregation in Largo, and we're going to be bringing it to a temple in Clearwater. And we're hoping to engage people that way, because we're hoping if we are going to put it out digitally and we lose that audience stage, presence for a little while, we want the people watching it to be concerned about each other, to be connected to each other, so that they will really get the message, share the message,
Yeah.
and participate in the surveys for us afterwards.
Well, I want to share with you something. Can you hear me okay? This thing, I hear echoing.
No, you're fine.
I want to share with you something, some profound experience. So I am also a volunteer at the local theater.
Oh,
So
Ah,
yes, I do usher every now and then, and it's just great because I love theater. I come from Philadelphia. We always like have theater time with my friends and, and coming down here. So that is like my me time moments. And I volunteer being an usher. So ever since COVID, everything stopped, right? Even though the theater actually come back and they have, every chair distance and for me, it's just really tough. It's not feeling that. And when I'm sit and I'm watching, and I haven't been, but already I feel like I should not do it. So last month, I've actually watched a online virtual play, and I didn't think I'll be captivated by it, but I am telling you, it was just as engaging as I was sitting in the theater, except I can run to the bathroom, grab my popcorns and bring my drinks and do anything I want in between. But I have to say, I don't know, Kim Sandstrom.
oh, that name sounds familiar.
Well, she is in, she's also in Central Philadelphia, Central Florida. I think, oh my God, I want to say, not Ocala, maybe Ocala, somewhere up there. And she's very innovative. She's also a playwright. And I'm going to have her up in 2 weeks also for the interview. And
Wonderful.
yeah, so they pivot. I mean, I think that, with movie theaters, places that you can't be out there in a cluster of a large community, you have to pivot somehow. And I have to say that this is so innovative that you can bring theater to their own home in front of their screen. And actually, you can get the whole family to watch together.
That's
And
our goal. Yeah, we said that with Phony Baloney when we were promoting to
I
the
love the
church.
title. I can't
I know,
stop
they're
laughing.
we said, do you have a senior in your home? And they say no. And I said, well, would you watch it with a grandparent or somebody? Oh yeah, we could do that, because we're watching it on the
Yeah.
computer. You can watch it anywhere. So there is that connection, and that the barrier of distance is removed by doing it virtually, maybe being on the phone together while you're watching it, something like that. But we're excited because we've been able to go even beyond Florida. So we have kits, not just the ones that we were taking with the DVD. If someone wants to, and I say this for your friend in Ocala or anyone in Philadelphia, if they would like to produce the play themselves with senior actors in their area and collaboration with their community, we have the whole kit of how to do that. And we have had
I might introduce her with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do that.
We've had it go out to a couple of states already, and so we're looking forward to feedback when they're able to do the show next.
Yeah. Well, there's so many questions that I want to say that, Linda, what prompted you to start at Sage?
Well, I didn't realize I had my own stories too. And
Okay.
sometimes there's some of myself weaved into them. But I enjoy theater, as you do. And I see that it's really a powerful way to get an important message across and help people. I think it's amazing that I can do something that I love, which is write plays. As you can see, Christine's a little more talkative than I am. I just write more than I talk. But to do something I love and it helps people I may never know beyond, my personal reach.
Yeah.
What a blessing that is. I feel very blessed to be able to do that. And it wouldn't have happened except that we were brought together, because she's a powerhouse. But I really I have a lot of stories. We more that we're doing. We're doing one that is a little bit challenging. It's about is it time to give up the car keys as we age? So that one is coming up. It's a tough conversation, but it's a conversation, a discussion that has to take place because you don't want to endanger yourself or others. You want to stay healthy and have everyone else that way
Yeah.
too. And perhaps on depression and other areas, there's so many things that we have to deal with, but we do deal with them. And I want to show successfully on stage with a play that gets to your emotions, so you remember what to do to avoid the pitfalls and thrive.
And this is tough conversation, but it is the reality. And I love the way that you are strategically not just bringing entertainment, but you are bringing entertainment with a purpose to help the senior, the grandma, the grandpas, and
It helps the family.
it
If we
is.
say, well,
Yeah.
our families and the community is better off, the healthier and happier
Yeah.
and aging, the better off
You're
everyone.
saving a lot of medical bills out there. That's one thing I know for sure.
Well, yeah, definitely. We've seen a reduction in falls in Pinellas County for the first time in 5 years. So they
Wow.
credit us helping with that. And, this does every topic that we will tackle affects people's lives, the whole family. But also we have to remember, we are supposed to celebrate every birthday, every year. And so as those numbers climb, our bodies might not be capable of doing the same things they used to do,
Right.
but that doesn't mean we can't thrive. We can't
Yeah.
find a way around that. We can't work with other people. We can't use some sort of assistance and still love what we can do with our lives
Right.
at any age.
Well, yeah, true. You take away their keys, you take away their independency. That is a tough conversation. But there's a way, there's a way that group traveling, somebody's going to carpool or whatnot, so that's just beautiful. I love it. I love it. I have more questions, but I don't know. Sarah, you want to ask something? Because I know that we are at the time, we might even have you come back and telling us, what other successful story, but there's so many things that we definitely would be interested to talk more.
I'd like to ask you about play with purpose. Tell us about that.
So the name Plays with Purpose came out of us talking about what we wanted to do with the nonprofit and the education factor of SAGES. And now it's just like our logo, our main thing: play with a purpose, always play with a purpose, go to a play with a purpose, because it really it creates a connection and a commitment to each other in the group watching it. Because then you have to advocate. I mean, you've said this before, Linda. I love how you put it. Well, now that you can't keep it to yourself. You have to share it. And so we do say that audiences turn into advocates. And we're hoping, like I said, to kind of start a movement with this, that it goes all over the country.
Is that what stage going to go to after, like, the new normal is going to set in after COVID? Are we still going to be hybriding, or are you still going to do the kits? What's the direction of SAGE moving forward?
I think that we're going to do everything. If it's my choice, we're going to do everything. We're going to do the live shows locally. We're going to have the kits to spread the word beyond this area and all over the country. And we're going to have the grant funded kits to help those smaller communities that they can't get out to a live show, even if it is free.
Right.
Or they don't want to get out and you still want to try to reach people. We've even talked to a hospital about, having something for the patients to watch before they're discharged when it comes to falls. So we have a lot of ideas and very big plans. We've already presented at the Florida Council on Aging and the National Council on Aging. So I don't know. We may have to just
All you have to do is just teach grandma and grandpa how to set up Zoom.
yes. Oh, we've done that too. We
Yeah.
actually have little skits. Tell them about that, Linda.
Yeah, that was our very first skit, which now is a public service announcement. And it's based on people like my age. We're afraid of technology. I might press the wrong button. I don't understand it. Don't I? No, no, no. And then when you connect with a family member, especially maybe a grandchild you haven't seen or whatever, then it's yes, yes, yes.
Right.
You know, it's wonderful.
Right.
But we do have a little bit of that fear of technology. So we're doing public service announcements. They're skits, they're short, but they're like little mini plays about a specific topic and showing that you can do this.
Yeah.
And
And they'll
they're
bring
only-
them together with the grandchildren too, because now, you know, there's something that they can talk about and they can watch together.
Yes, and it's only 5 minutes long, these little skits, so they're really helpful just to get people, again, talking about the idea of getting comfortable with this.
Yeah.
I mean, look what you guys have done with it. And I was saying this before the show started. It's remarkable that you get to talk every day in person.
I know. We are capitalizing it to the max. And we love meeting new people. Every day we meet new people and it expands our knowledge, our wisdom. So someday, you know, hopefully that we can help you to be in the community. And I definitely would love to take a trip out there when everything is over. I would love to experience, you know, everything that you have in real life in person to person.
Well, thank you. Would it be all right to share our website with your viewers?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay, so there's a lot of clips on there, and certainly the Oh Mother skit I was talking about and the new one, the trifecta, those are going to be on our YouTube channel. It's Sages, SAGES, theater, theater.org, O-R-G. Everything is there, and we're very excited to bring it back to Miss Linda to celebrate her 75th birthday by trying to bring 75 donors to our website before the end of the year. So if you're so inclined, you love what we're doing, then please participate, and we'll just keep celebrating, right, Linda?
Well, thank you. Well, you are in our group. Please feel free to just jot down the link. And even say anything about the donations. We're welcome to that. And I think that, you know, we might not get people who watch live, but I'm sure that we get people replays and see that, and they can click right on there.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it is an honor to have you both here and share with us your purpose. Play with the purpose. It's just so awesome. And especially that making so many senior out there happy because they know that they have a purpose to help other senior also get a message out.
Yes, our volunteers and our actors are really having a ball doing it.
Right. You ever bring it to the villages?
We are hoping to. Yes, there were plans to go out that way in Tampa, but yeah, I think there's got to be a community theater group that could take on doing it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my goal.
I've been to the theater out in the village, and yes, I'm sure there's many theaters out there that they can welcome the idea, and they probably gonna have a blast because you're gonna get a lot of volunteers who want to be an actor and actress.
Yeah, Ocala and the villages is a great place. So I had to add this by having an opportunity to watch the play a few times. They have so much humor in the play. It's fun to watch, and everybody giggle and learn at the same time. So you make it fun for people to watch.
Oh,
that's the best thing because emotion, I mean, making tragic moment to become a humor is not easy, but that's the only way to get people to remember.
Yeah, thank you
so much.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go dig into those little YouTube things and I'm gonna start watching. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for what you do for the communities and help so many people. That prevention is the best medicine of all, I think.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
See, I told you, everyone, this is going to be a great session, and it was a really great session. So thank you for hanging around with us and watch with us. And if you have any question, please reach out to Christine or Linda with the link below, and I'm sure that you can go find Sage Theater and start spreading the news.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays, right?
Bye
Well,
all.
thank you. And we'll see you again soon, hopefully.